Hello and welcome to Sunspiration. If you're watching for the first time, I've got a question for you. Where have you been? Anyway, I'm so excited to have you on here. And if you're wondering what Sunspiration is inspiration from the Holy Bible. I am a speaker and a Christian, so every Sunday I go into the Holy Bible and I find a very powerful word and an inspirational story to fire you up for the week. This month, we have been asking ourselves a question. Are you on track? As we have set our goals and plans for the year, most likely in January or even the year before, and now we're going month after month, it's important that we stop and do a check to make sure that we are on track. And you might be guessing, or you might be wondering, when is the best time to do that check? It's better to check early than when it's way too late. You want to get to November and then be thinking, hang on here, I'm off track. You could have made an adjustment in February and then by March, you're sailing in the right direction. And we have been picking out different stories of different people who were called by God to do different things. And so today I'm looking at the story of Saul. It's not the same Saul I spoke about last week. So if you haven't watched last week, I encourage you to go back and watch it. I'm talking about King Saul in this case. God sent a prophet to King Saul and told him to go and destroy the Amalekites because they have been horrible to the Israelites. And so Saul got the instructions and he was asked to destroy everything. And when he got there, he destroyed everything, but he kept some of the finest animals and even their king, and he brought them back. And he says, I'll just bring them back and use them for sacrifice for God. Then when the prophet came to him and said, have you done what God told you? And he was like, yeah, I did everything. Like, hang on here. No, you didn't. Saul disobeyed God. And that's where that saying says, obedience is better than sacrifice. All Saul had to do was to obey what God told him to do. But he felt maybe there's a better way to do it. He did not stick to the specific instructions that God gave him. And he got into serious trouble for that. You might be watching this now and thinking, what is the relevance? And that's where we're going to dig into, where we apply it to our daily lives. I'm going to ask you the first question. Have you received specific instructions from God? Remember, in January, we agreed that God is your creator. And so your creator knows the purpose and reason why he created you. So God knows everything that you should be doing. He's laid out and planned for you what you're going to be doing in the year 2022. And the question is, did you just write your goals and everything? Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Not asking, God, what do you want me to do in this year? I know we might be tempted by different courses, different conversations, trying to hurry up and rush into writing our goals for the year. But as they say, the race is not unto the swift. Because it's a marathon. It's a long distance race. But you need to make sure you got your purpose right from the onset before you even kick off. And where do you draw that purpose from? From your creator. Because he knows you even more than you know yourself. So the question today is, have you asked God? Have you gone to him to say, God, what do you want me to do in this year 2022? And one thing that's guaranteed, as long as he has given you the instructions, you will definitely be on track. Secondly, maybe you have got the instructions. And as we're talking about being on track, it's a good time to check. Are you following those specific instructions? Remember, Saul was given a specific instruction to go and destroy the Amalekites. But he chose to make a slight adjustment to the instructions that he was given. And because of that, he got into serious trouble. And that's why I'm asking a question that sounds like the first one. Have you focused on the specific instructions? This month is for reflecting on those goals to check if we're on track. And so this is a good time for you to go back and say, what were these specific instructions? Am I making some adjustments that have not been asked to make to it, as Saul did? And it's really good to reflect on that, because that will put you back on track to the dreams and goals that God has laid out for you in the year 2022. And thirdly, you might be thinking, I just took off with no instructions. Or you might be thinking, I've gone out of my way. I'm here to say to you, there's mercy and there's grace. We serve a God that forgives. God is not going to flog you and say, you've been out your way, I'm going to throw you to just go on your own and do what you want to do now. It's a good time to say, Father, I've taken off. I didn't ask you. Please show me the right way. Even if you have made mistakes, He turns our mistakes into good, because He is a great God. So February is a good time in case you took off. And you may be wondering, why am I struggling through this January? Or when you got to February, you're like, why am I still struggling? As I spoke last week about trying to drive a car with square wheels, and everyone is trying to stop you and say, stop, wait. They are round wheels. Put them on. It's easier to move. And that's where she's saying to God, God, I need my round wheels so I can roll easily through the year. It's not too late to go back and say, Father, I got it wrong. I tried it on my own. I set off on my own without asking you to take the driving seat. And He's willing to forgive you as long as you confess and repent. So I want to encourage you to spend time reflecting. And the first question is, are you hearing from God? This instruction that you have taken and you're focusing on, you're chasing into the year, where did you get that from? Was it from God? Secondly, are you listening to the specific instructions? Are you following what you were told to do? Or have you started making some adjustments to it? And if you've gone totally out of your way, if you've lost your track, God's mercy is still there waiting for you to return and say, I got it wrong, Lord. I took off without speaking to you. Or I've gone off track. Welcome me back in. And God will be happy to forgive you and to put you back on track to keep going into the year 2022. Have a great week. Stay blessed and love you all.